this is Ruby Bhatia, television presenter and happiness life coach. Welcome to Reflections with Ruby Bhatia, an exclusive women-only podcast brought to you by IIW, Inspiring Indian Women, which is a not-for-profit NGO based in the UK and in India. Today, I'm excited to have with us Monika Bammi. Monika is a multi-talented woman who is doing so much I can't even remember it all. Okay, she is the founder of Divine Health and Wellbeing. She is an energy and mindset expert. She's a hypnotherapist, a relationship and life coach, and she's also the co-author of the Amazon best-selling book, New Woman. Monika, welcome to the show. I mean, you do so much, I can't even say it, and you're doing it all. I don't know how you manage it. Monika, are you there?
Well, thank you very much for having me.
Wow. Thank you, Monika, for being with us. And I must say, touch wood, you're very beautiful also. So you managed to somehow keep yourself going. Are you married? Do you have kids?
I am married and I have 3 beautiful daughters.
Goodness. So how do you do it all? Tell me, how do you do it all?
I think when you're enjoying what you do, you don't even think about how. A lot of people will say, how do you do that? How did you do this? How did you manage to create an online course? And with me, I don't think the how, I just do it. And then you look back thinking, did I really do that? So that's how the journey literally went. You do it, you enjoy it, and then you do more, something you enjoy, and then you do more and more and more. It's random. Currently, there's so many things are happening and there's so many things coming in my direction. It's unbelievable. So clearly, I'm attracting all that.
Well, I want to know first, let's start with a little bit about your journey. Where were you born? Where were you brought up? Coming to the present, can you update us on what's been happening in the past, in this beautiful life that you've been living?
Yes, I'm going to have to bullet point it for you because there's a loaded questions in that.
Where were you born and where were you brought up?
So I was born in India, in Punjab. And I got married at age 19, came to UK at 19, and then I started helping my husband in his business. And then after that, I thought, okay, let me just see what I can do on my own. Then I did some training in housing, worked in refuge, women suffering domestic violence, people with alcohol issues, drug issues, homelessness, teenage pregnancy. So a lot of those things. And then afterwards, I thought, okay, I've done that. Now what's next? I finished with my work and then I ended up being in a business, which I never thought I would. But I thought, right, okay, let's give it a try. If not employment, then what? Then I decided to go into my business. I mean, my business idea, the whole thing was decided and confirmed in 2 hours. So when I took a break from my work, I said to my husband, I'm taking a break. Are you ready to hold the spinning plates? I've been spinning for a while. And are you ready? And he said, yeah, just drop them. Month and a half, I chilled, did nothing, thinking, let me just take a breather and let me just relax. And then month and a half after, I thought, should I be picking up my responsibilities now? Or am I being too selfish?
Right.
And then one day I said to my husband, right, okay, what shall I do? I don't really want to work under anyone. It just didn't feel right for me anymore. I did that for a very long time, but I just didn't fancy working under anyone. I thought the only thing left is the business because then I'm my own boss. Well, I'm on my boss and plus a cleaner. All those roles that come with being your own boss. And within 2 hours, he decided the business name. He went on the platform and designed my cards. He sent the express delivery for printing cards. And I thought, why are you trying to get rid of me? Have you had enough of me staying at home? Are you struggling with something? Why are you pushing me out so quick, so fast? I only spoke the word, what should I do? And you literally done all that.
Wow.
And then I panicked for a quick second thinking, this is way too quick, way too soon. And I'm not ready. I was only exploring the idea. And then I thought to myself, and I always say this to my clients, and this is where the strength comes from. Say something that gives you the strength.
Okay.
What I said to myself in that moment is, if I can walk away or give up my role that I did for years. I can walk away from this business if I don't like it. Because it was panic thinking, I'm going in there, I'm going to like it, I may get stuck in something. Da, da, da. I needed something in my head to say, it's okay. If the flow is so fast, it's clearly taking you in the direction the universe wants you to go, because things were happening within minutes and seconds. I thought, why am I fighting it? So I said to myself, if you can do that after 17, 18 years of working, you can do this. You can walk away because you have the control and you have the strength to do it. And 8, 9 years down the line, I'm still here.
And we don't want you to walk away. We really don't. Oh my gosh, Monika. So, on a more serious note, I know you deal with trauma. Okay, you deal with relationships, perhaps marriages that have broken up, or so I want to know from you, how do you handle your clients? What would be your USP? What do you bring to the table in terms of being able to help your clients that would make it different and would make it faster and easier for people to heal?
Yeah, I think fast and quick is my USB in a sense. It's not that like, let me just turn your life around just like that, but it literally does sometimes happen like that. I have clients who come, people who are having intimacy issues, people who have trust issues, people who are struggling to communicate. They want to stay together, but they can't understand each other. The care and the emotions out there. So yes, and then people who have childhood trauma and they're in their 50s and 60s and they're still carrying that, and that became their identity, and it's harder for them to let go of the past so they can be in the present and they can move on with the future or be excited about the future. Every now and then the trigger will take them to the past. So it was important. I just felt because I'd done thousands and thousands and thousands of treatments, you could just see the pattern that till you deal with your past, till you are at peace with your past, it's hard to be in the present and it's hard to be looking forward to the future. Because if that past is going to ping you back, it becomes your present, and your present becomes your future. If you're not at peace then, if you're not at peace here, your future is going to reflect what your present was. So it became important. And a lot of people, I had so many people saying, I'm not good enough. When sometimes they have a good relationship and they think, I'm not good enough for that relationship. I think that relationship's too good for me, because they're not used to getting treated really well or getting loved and all the rest. And they're thinking, no, I don't deserve this. And sometimes you're in a relationship, you think, I'll deserve better. What am I doing here? So you create the balance. And it all, in my opinion, I think majority of the time, it comes down to how you see yourself. If you are not at peace with yourself, if you don't accept who you are, your strengths and weaknesses, and you sometimes we look in the mirror thinking, my God, I look ugly and this and that. You're rejecting yourself. And then you think the whole world think you're ugly. The whole world think you're not good enough. The whole world think that, you can't do this. You're not good mom. You're not this. You got to be loving to yourself, and you got to be kind to yourself. And when I do my treatments, whether that's Reiki, coaching, hypnotherapy, NLP, I hear all the time from my clients, it feels like I'm going home. And that means for them is I become authentic. I really like who I am. And I can't stop smiling when I look in the mirror thinking, my God, I love me. And once you're at that place, people's opinion doesn't matter. The external validation doesn't matter. Nothing matters, because you matter.
So good. That's so good. You have something called the 10-second strategy. What is that? That sounds so exciting and so instant. Tell me more about that.
So I have my 10 seconds. Some of them are 3 seconds technique, and they are modern and ancient techniques, mixture of East and West. Okay. And I give those techniques to my clients. Let's say somebody comes to me to say, Monika, I'm struggling to sleep, or I'm feeling stressed and anxious, or I have panic attacks, or I don't feel confident, or I feel I absorb a lot of energy from other people. And I think they're zapping my energy and I'm absorbing theirs. Then while they're going through Reiki or other treatments, I will give them those 10 seconds techniques so them to take control of their own health. So if they're going through stress and anxiety, I'll give them the 10-second technique. They will do the technique while we're going through the treatment. And when they finish with me, they have lots of tools in their own toolkit to rely on. Then they don't rely on people like me, because I don't want you to rely on people like me or anybody else. You got to have the toolkit. I will start you off. I'll get you there, but then I want you to be able to maintain the state. So this is hence the techniques I give are very fast and quick, and it's easy for people to do, especially when they're in busy life. And then they're maintaining the lifestyle. And then within 5, 6, 7 weeks, you're there. If you want to love yourself, you're there. If you want to release your past and be good with your past and be excited about the future, you're there. I don't do weeks and months and years. I just think there is no need to go over and over and over. Let's go over it once and let's move forward. Hence, people get the results really fast, and people come to me for that.
Okay, so let's try this out, okay? Because I'm lucky I'm here, so I can get like a free session, free advice. Okay, so I have 2 boys, right? And they play football, okay? And sometimes I get panicky that they're going to get injured. So if they're playing football, right, and I'm somewhere else, let's say I'm doing some other work, back of my mind, I'm like, are they going to get injured? And I'm worried about it. So what is a 10-second strategy to cope with that kind of anxiety and stress?
So techniques are different, but if I was to do a quick coaching session, I probably will say that if you're not in the moment, you're not enjoying what you're doing. And regards, like happiness, people say, how do I be happy? How do I become happy? And I heard that you're a happiness coach. And I use a lot of things in my coaching sessions. I would say, if you are doing something you're doing, right? You be in that moment. You be 100% there, which switches you off from the worries and stresses, because you are worrying and stressing isn't going to do anything.
Right. And nothing has
stressed your body out.
Just in the mind, nothing actually happened that needs to be dealt with. It's just the mind that's going haywire or whatever. So.
Yeah, that's right. So your mind, your brain is looking for answers. What about this? What about that? What about that? Now, if you satisfy your brain, and if you give your brain the answers it's looking for, it shuts the chapter down for you. For example, you might think, oh my God, they're playing football, they could easily get injured, or this and that and that. And the brain is saying, then we're going to have to go through this and that and that. And you're trying to keep them safe. If you tell your brain, I acknowledge that we're worried. I acknowledge they could get hurt. I acknowledge that it's not a safe game, and I acknowledge that we are worried about them, right? But if you tell your brain, now, once you acknowledge, now you need to give your brain the command. What it is you want the brain to do. Do you want the brain to be in the moment and focus on things that you're doing, or do you want the brain to stop worrying and focus on something good? So I'll ask you, what instructions do you want to give your brain in that moment when it's worrying?
Right. So it would be like, I would have to tell my brain that, look, either we go and take them out of football, or we stop worrying about it. There's no point hanging around in the middle of it. I think what you're talking about also has so much to do with command over the various aspects that we have. We have a body, we have a mind, we have a soul, we have a brain, we have a heart, we have feelings, we have, as in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagwan Shri Krishna ko dikhaya ki wo Arjun ko sikha rahe hain ki jo ghode hain, you have to be in charge of those forces, of the mind, of the senses, of the brain, of everything else, that we have to be king soul, which is mastery over the various components that make up our being. So I see how you're teaching me to have more mastery over the thoughts and the worries that crowd the brain.
Let's practice this then. So if you close your eyes.
Yeah.
And acknowledge out loud to your brain whatever your brain is saying about your boys in the football. Say it out loud. Acknowledge what the brain is saying.
Okay. They're very small. They're still, not that strong. What if, because both of my boys are goalkeepers. So what if the ball hits them? What if their head hits the goalpost? Should I just go and tell them stop playing, do something else that's safer, or should I let them pursue their passion? These are the thoughts and words.
What you're going to do is you're going to acknowledge the brain, that what the brain is saying to you. Say, I acknowledge that I am worried, they're young. I acknowledge that they can get hurt. I acknowledge that a goalkeeper and the chances are high. Say that to your brain.
Okay, I know that we are worried. It's natural to be worried because I'm a mom and it's my job to worry about my kids and make sure that they're safe. And that's okay, that's legitimate. But we have decided for now to let them continue playing. So why don't we just forget about it for a few minutes and concentrate? Right?
So, no. So the way it should work is you'll acknowledge, I understand the young, I understand this, and I understand that. Now comes a command part. Because you are not coming up with the answers with a conscious mind, right? Then you will ask your brain, once you acknowledge, this is where you give the command. Okay, give me 2 ways how I can be at peace with this. Or give me 2 ways how can I be okay with them playing football and not worried. Now give the command. And then quiet for a few seconds and say that again.
Asking the brain for the answers. Asking the brain only to give me the solution.
So you can give the command, give it a few seconds. Now tell me what comes up.
Okay. Okay, so the brain is 50% interested.
Yes. You don't time. Ask the brain, command the brain, give me 2 ways how I can be at peace with this and let them enjoy the football that they play. The brain will give you the answers. And because now the brain isn't running the show, you give brain command, the brain's got the answers it was looking for. It disconnects you from the stress because now your brain isn't going towards a negative, the worries, because you told the brain to go on a different path. That's just how you control your brain and your mind. If you control that, you're in a very good place.
This is fantastic, Monika. What you did was you allowed me to separate myself. So it became 2 different people. The brain that is worrying and the soul or the person who's now trying to manage that situation. So it's not like I am at the mercy of my brain. Now I've become 2 people who are managing. What do you appreciate, Monika, about the little sample session that we did was that you go into great detail, I think, with your clients about what they're experiencing, every thought, every emotion. You validate their feelings. You give them a sense of it's okay. It's okay to worry. And it's okay to be where you are and to feel the way you do. And now let's work up from there, which I think is fabulous. Monika, आप हिंदी में बात करते हैं, पंजाबी में बात करते हैं?
चूज करूंगी ना, वो गड़बड़ हो जानी है सारी.
नहीं, हमारे जो दर्शक हैं वो कुछ लोग हिंदी में भी बात करते हैं, पंजाबी में गल कर दें. So which one are you comfortable with?
I think I'm going to have a mixture of both. So I'll give it a shot with either. किसी ने पंजाबी समझ आएगी, किसी को हिंदी आएगी.
ठीक है, तो मोनिका, मैं आपसे पूछना चाह रही थी कि अभी डिवाइन हेल्थ एंड वेलबीइंग जो आप चला रहे हैं, तो इसकी शुरुआत कहाँ से हुई? आपका इंटरेस्ट क्या शुरू से इस फील्ड में रहा है कि आप इस चीज में जाएं, हेल्पिंग पीपल एंड थिंग्स लाइक दैट, या जब ये बिजनेस का आइडिया आया उसी टाइम आपके मन में ये बात
आई? तो आई हैड अ वेरी प्रिविलेज्ड लिविंग. जैसे कोई काम नहीं करना, उठ के जाना, कॉलेज आके ये करना. इट वाज अ वेरी सिंपल लाइफ. बट जब इंग्लैंड में आई तो द लाइफ वाज वेरी डिफरेंट. इतनी अलग थी इंडिया से. एंड आई वाज वेरी यंग, 19 की थी, इतनी यंग थी. और मैंने यहाँ पे आके देखा कि छोटे छोटे बच्चे, टीनेजर्स बहुत सफर कर रहे हैं. या घर छोड़ दिया उन्होंने गुस्से में आके, या पेरेंट्स ने निकाल दिया, या फिर उनको ड्रग की आदत पड़ गई, या वो टीनेज प्रेगनेंसी हो गई. तो आई सो सफरिंग एंड इट्स ऑलमोस्ट लाइक, इतना मुझे कह लो कि ए हर्ट मी, इतना मेरे को दर्द हुआ, इतनी सारी पेन देखे. इंडिया यस यू सी द पेन, बट जब आप प्रोटेक्टेड हो, आप वो पेन इंडिया में नहीं देखते क्योंकि आप लिविंग ए शेल्टर्ड लाइफ. Yeah, right. So India has a lot of pain, but I didn't see that when I was growing up. पर जब मैं यहाँ पे आई मुझे लगा कि हर कोई किसी ना किसी दुख में जा रहा है. सो आई स्टार्टेड वर्किंग. मैं हाउसिंग में काम करना शुरू कर दिया जहाँ पे होमलेस पीपल थे, जहाँ पे लोगों को टीनेज प्रेगनेंसी थी, ड्रग, कोई एजुकेशन नहीं थी, कोई ट्रेनिंग नहीं थी. मैं इन लोगों के लिए क्या कर सकती. सो मैंने जितना मैं कर सकी एम्प्लॉयमेंट में मैंने किया. फिर मैंने सोचा जब मैं बिजनेस में की कि ओके मैंने ये किया है, पर आई जस्ट फेल्ट कि ये इनफ नहीं है और मुझे कुछ और करना है. मुझे और, क्योंकि जब एम्प्लॉयमेंट में होता है कंट्रोल्ड इन्वायरमेंट हो, क्योंकि अदर पीपल कंट्रोल यू, सो यू कैन ओनली डू सो मच. आपका अगर हार्ट इतना बड़ा है और आपको इतना अलाउड है तो वो गड़बड़ हो जाती है. आपकी सोल कहती है कि नो, इतना मुझे करना है, मैंने इतने में सेटल नहीं होना है. सो मैंने अपने बिजनेस में गई. अब मैंने देखा लोगों को कि जब मैं काम करती थी लोग ऑफ सिक जाते थे स्ट्रेस की वजह से. जब वो काम पे वापस आते थे वो फिर भी स्ट्रेस थे, क्योंकि वो काम जो इतना छोड़ के गए उस वो भी पड़ा है और उससे ज्यादा पढ़ाई करने के लिए वो फिर ऑफ सिक जाते थे. सो ये सर्कल चलता गया. आई एम थिंकिंग दिस इज नॉट करेक्ट. द पर्सन जो कब वापिस आ रहा है काम पे वो स्ट्रेस है, वो वापिस स्ट्रेस पे जा रहा है, कोई कोई किसी का ध्यान नहीं रख रहा. जैसे स्टाफ हेल्थ एंड वेलबींग wasn't important, it was all about work. So then I decided to open up my business कि उन लोगों को हेल्प करने के लिए जो काम करते हैं, जो स्ट्रेस है, एंग्जाइटी है, उनको टूल्स देने के लिए कि आप पहले तो बात है कि अगर आप अपनी हेल्थ को प्रॉपरली ध्यान दोगे तो आप सिकनेस की तरफ नहीं जाओगे, आप स्ट्रेस नहीं होंगे. और मेरा दूसरा लेवल था कि मैं एम्प्लॉयर्स को एजुकेट करूं, एजुकेट द एम्प्लॉयर्स हाउ टू लुक आफ्टर योर एम्प्लॉयज and educate the employees how you can take responsibility for your own health. And that's how you complete the picture. One person, if the employers, agar employer sare kaam karega, then it's not easy if the employee doesn't take responsibility. So I have to be education on both sides and give them both the tools, how you complete the picture. Then you have a happy family at work. And so hence I went into that business that way because I needed to shift something.
पहले तो आपने अपने इनर वॉइस को सुना और फिर अब आप दूसरों को एनकरेज करते हैं टू लिसन टू देयर.
Absolutely.
तो मोनिका, बहुत सारे दर्शक जो देख रहे हैं हमें फ्रॉम अराउंड द वर्ल्ड, आप और क्या कहना चाहेंगे उनको? व्हाट डू यू वांट टू टेल देम अबाउट व्हाट यू डू एंड हाउ डू यू वांट टू रीच आउट?
Yes. So as you mentioned, I do Reiki, hypnotherapy, NLP, coaching, relationship coaching. अगर आप किसी प्रॉब्लम के लिए आपके रिलेशनशिप की सेटिंग नहीं हो रही और आपने you lived a relationship for years but you still want to make it work, please do get in touch. I work with energies and I work with mindset. When your energies are balanced and you are in control of your mind, now you have the right combination. Now you have the recipe for a success. And I always also believe in importance of being you. And that's where I written co-authored the Amazon book. And my title was The Importance of Being You. When you feel the importance of just being you, who you are, where you come from, and proud of who you are and where you come from and where you are now, there's nothing can phase you. The things like, I can't do this, I'm not good enough, I'm not confident, doesn't touch you. You're not waiting for people's validation. You're not waiting for people's opinion. Oh, what shall I do? Shall I do this? Shall I do that? Once you're good with yourself, you're confident within yourself and you make the decisions from a good place, because when you're good with yourself, your head and your heart is in harmony. And there's two things I rely on myself. If I need to make a decision and my heart says something else and my heart says something else, there's a conflict. Then I analyze that conflict. What is that conflict? And once there's a harmony, I go with the decision. Then it really doesn't matter what the outcome is, because you can't predict the outcome. The only thing you can do is make the decision with harmony. And even the decision isn't something, or outcome isn't something you expected and it's totally the opposite, you're still at peace with the outcome because the decision was made in harmony. Second thing I always say to my client is that just give yourself the importance. Take care of yourself, take care of your needs, fill your cup first, and then you can pour it out to others. If you pour it out from an empty cup, then you are becoming bitter, you're becoming resentful, and you're becoming frustrated because you're not liking who you are because you feel, oh, why should I have to do this? I did so much for you. And, you didn't even say thank you. You didn't even acknowledge because you went out of your way from and poured out from your empty cup. Yeah. So make the decision in harmony, look after yourself and give the importance that you want from others for you. Give it to yourself. Have the importance of being you because when you're authentic, there is nothing can shift you. There's nothing can phase you in your life. And I think there's one thing I wanted to say is I have created an online magic toolkit course. It's called the Magic Toolkit to Release You from Stress and Anxiety. And that's an online pre-recorded program that anybody who would like to do that in their hometown, in your home. It's easy, very simple. Like I always said, simple, practical. I don't believe in hard work. I believe in very quick results that gets your life turned around really fast. And again, corporate workshops, we haven't touched on that little. Corporate workshops, I do a lot of corporate workshops on stress management, confidence building, emotional resilience, communications, conflict resolution, many. And I have workshops where there's 4 people in a group. And obviously, but that's what they wanted, 4 people. And then I have 500 plus. And I do face-to-face as well as online. And I'm coming to India in November. So hopefully I'll see maybe some of you. I'm doing many workshops while I'm in India. And I'm visiting Mumbai for a very short period of time. And yes, that's me.
That's wonderful. So thank you very much, Monika, for being with us. It was really a pleasure and very enlightening. And to be honest with you, I could feel your healing vibrations just by talking to you. I'm just feeling so much better. Thank you so much.
You are very welcome. I always say when it comes from the energy side, when your energies are balanced, you can't be out of balance. Work with your energies, balance your energies and control your mind. That's it. That's all you need to do in life. Balance your energies, control your mind. Then no matter what difficulties that come in your life, you can literally within seconds, you can turn things around. Seconds, not minutes, not months, not years, seconds.
Fantastic. So thank you once again, Monika. And to all our viewers out there, thank you very much for watching. This is Ruby Bhatia. This is Reflections with Ruby Bhatia, an exclusive women-only podcast brought to you by IIW, Inspiring Indian Women, which is a not-for-profit NGO based in the UK and in India. So we'll see you on the next episode. और अगर आप इस शो में आना चाहते हैं तो प्लीज हमें जरूर कांटेक्ट करिए क्योंकि इस शो के जरिए आप उन तक पहुंच सकते हैं जिनको आपसे लाभ होगा and people who can really benefit from whatever you're doing. Thank you for tuning in and we'll see you in the next episode.